A lot of people, when they see me with kids, they think I should have been a dad. I hear that so often. Sean, you should have been a dad. You should have been a dad. Well, most women that I knew were attracted to people who were dominant assholes. The other thing is, I've never really been attracted to men or women. For a while there, I'd been told that I needed to be attracted to women enough that I really tried. I even asked women out like I was expected to. It happens. I got made fun of a lot for not being interested. Hey, Bryn.
Hey.
Everything hectic on that end?
Yes.
Well, this is one of the things I'm pretty well used to. It's real important to turn this stuff in, but then life keeps on happening in everybody else's life.
Yeah, I'm really sorry about that.
It's all right. It's not something we can change, but it's something that we can recognize.
Yes.
We can also recognize that it happens a lot, and it's not just you. That's one of the key things with a lot of people is they try to make it about them and get real apologetic, and the apologies don't really fix the situation or change it. A lot of people tend to give the advice of, well, move forward or move on. What that means to them is completely different than the person who's being abused, though. For them, it means just forget about it. But if you forget about it, or you try to forget about it, and you're still in that situation, you still have to look over your shoulder every moment of every day. Also, most people don't understand how important it is to turn it in right away. And with me not having a friend or family member to send it to that's going to help me with that, I just end up sending it to you or Miss Claire.
Yeah.
But I was hoping that you might be able to write uh, a witness statement and either send it to me via email or um, maybe take a picture of it and send it to me so I have evidence of it. Because I mean, they're making this impossible. The police are and the courts are. And also, one of the things I was wanting you to listen to, if you'd have shown up today, was the recording with my public pretender, the most recent one, because they're literally lying out their asses about the law. They know exactly what they're doing. They're playing head games and mind games. They're literally not listening to my side of the story. They're talking over everything that I say, trying to make everything into an argument, and also lying to me about the laws, which, as a public pretender, they're not allowed to do that. The goal here should be to show the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Exactly.
Anyway, with the Chris Stafford stuff and the Andrew Wolnez stuff, getting a protection order isn't the same as pressing charges against them for assaults and for threatening my life and for all of the hate crimes. Those are actual crimes that they've been committing against me. This isn't civil stuff, not even close. So, go ahead.
I was just agreeing with you.
The stuff that needed to be sent to the sheriff, and that was the main thing that I was hoping you'd be able to help with today. The thing with Chris Stafford, that absolutely needs to be turned in as soon as you are humanly possible. And also the stuff that I was able to send you with Andrew Wolnez. By the way, thank you for forwarding that stuff that I wasn't able to post on YouTube, because I was able to post it thanks to you.
Absolutely. Not a problem.
Anyway, I was hoping you might be able to write up about the Chris Stafford situation and also make a second report about the things that you've been involved in since then and trying to help me. And, you don't have to go into detail about every specific of why you weren't able to show up or anything, but if you could, explain that it wasn't my fault, that you had your own stuff that was going on and that it was one emergency after another, because that's one of the things that cops really, really prey on, is claiming that I was never trying to get help. And when I try to say, hey, people are sick, they have relatives that die, things of that nature, a lot of people aren't as free with it as you are. So when I record it live and it's on my YouTube channel, they end up getting pissed and saying, well, that's our personal business or my personal business. And for me, it's never about that. I don't post it up because it's, to be a mean person with their personal business. I post it up because it's the truth. And they're not allowing the truth in court. The police aren't listening to the truth. None of these services that you're well aware of yourself even, they do the same things to all of us.
Yes.
Now with me having to get railroaded I'm trying to pull everything last minute. And one of the things with, the cruel and unusual punishment that I'm going through is that somebody has to literally see it with their own two eyes. The videos that I sent you, that makes you so that you can be a witness that those situations happened, as well as the people that were involved. I'm not sure if you know Valerie and Powder.
Yes. Powder is my dog's brother.
Yep. So I don't think that Powder is going to get on the stand or write a police report or anything like that. But one of the videos that I sent you is of her, obviously. She's one of the witnesses to Andrew Wolnez riding by on his bike, still harassing me, even with a protection order. And he actually did that twice with her next to me. He did it 3 times overall in an hour. The first time she was with me and the third time she was with me, and he also targeted her. I wasn't sure if anybody had targeted you over this stuff or not, but the stuff with her, like, she was literally right next to me when it happened.
Yeah.
Did you get... Oh, you got to watch the videos now?
Yes.
All right, good. Because when I talked to you last night, you hadn't gotten to see all of them yet. Anyway, how long do you think it would take for you to type those up and send an email to me?
I could probably do it tonight and send it to you like tomorrow morning, so that way I'm not waking you up.
Oh, send it to me tonight. I'm not going to be able to sleep. There's too much anxiety because I didn't get anything done today.
Okay.
That's one of the things about, being mad at the situation and not the people.
Yeah.
Like, I've literally wasted hundreds and hundreds of days on people who said that they were going to help, and then there's always something that happens. I've probably had over 100 people tell me that a loved one passed away, or, somebody was deathly ill in the hospital. I've had at least 30 people tell me that they had cancer at the last minute. So, I mean, I'm used to seeing also the situations where it's not real, and also the situations where it is. Like, a lot of these web sleuths on the internet just pretend that they're sick or pretend that stuff is happening. Some of the people I know in real life did the same thing, but also some of the people I know in real life, the stuff legit happened to, like Mandy Singer. Anyway, I was hoping that you might be able to, because
Yeah, I can do that.
after the written reports are made, it's important to turn it into the sheriff's department, because the protection order thing with Andrew Wolnez, and also the fact that it's connected to Chris Stafford, as well as connected to people who have been predatory towards me since before I even knew Tillamook existed. Like, they're literally working together with the people who have been harassing me over Natalie Bollinger since before Natalie Bollinger was killed, and that was in 2017. I wanted to try to show you those accounts in person and also have you read all of the messages between me and Natalie Bollinger in person, which takes about, well, if you're a fast reader, it takes about 20-25 minutes. If you're a slow reader, it could take an hour and a half.
I read a couple of them. I wasn't able to read all of them. I have to scroll back up and read them, but I can do that.
Well, the ones in between Natalie and I, there's literally hundreds of them. You'd literally have to sit with me with my Facebook and my computer open in order to read them, which is difficult. Although you have my permission to record it and point your camera at it or whatever, if you're able to do that. But the important thing right now is to address the safety issues with the police, as well as the situation with Andrew Wolnez and Chris Stafford. And the parts that you saw, like that does show that they're committing crimes against me, that they are throwing rocks at my vehicle. The fact that it's recorded also shows that there's video evidence of it, and that's what the police keep calling me a liar about. When I've sent it to them, one of the things I'd like to send you tonight is evidence of all of the mandated report. Well, a few of them. It takes a lot of time to dig it up, like I was telling you. When I sent you the first set of stuff, it took me over 100 hours to try to go through all that just to get it so I could send it to people. And it takes a lot of time to dig that up with this stuff too. But I could probably send you at least 5 or 6 mandated reporters and or people who are supposed to help me, like my public pretender. I can send you evidence that the stuff that you're able to see, that stuff that you were able to help me to hook up on the YouTube channel, all of that stuff, literally all of these places are telling me that they're not able to see it and that it doesn't work, and that includes the police.
And they're full of it.
They are full of it. And it's Neubauer and Lothman and one other officer that had me send that stuff via whatever their phone thing is, and they tell me it's just a drag and drop thing. Well, you literally can't drag and drop it on a cell phone. But it's only set up for a cell phone. So how is that supposed to work? They literally made something that does not work. Like, I don't know where their common sense is, but they obviously didn't store it anywhere on their person. So, anyway, I don't know how long it'll take you to type those up, but if you send me the first one as soon as you're done with it, that would make it so that I could get started on that. And if you put in your information, well, I already have your phone number, but if you put that in, that way it can be sent to professional type places. And also I was wanting to get your permission to possibly send them to the Oregonian and Will Chapel here in Tillamook at the newspaper here.
Also, have it post it.
Do what?
Also, go to the Headlight Herald. They will post it.
Yeah, that's Will Chapel. One of the things
okay.
That's one of the things is that I need somebody else to go in with me and verify this stuff. If you wrote that, then you might be able to use it as an editorial. That's why I was trying to send you all of those emails to people so that you could basically write it as a bulk statement for all of them. You could explain the situation with Chris Stafford the day that you and I met, and you could also explain the situation since with all of the harassment by Wolnez as well as Chris Stafford. And there's a lot more of it too.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I can do that.
The other thing is, I don't know, you probably have 10,000 things set up for tomorrow too, I'm assuming.
No, I only have one thing set up, and then I am free.
All right. Would you be able to possibly help me tomorrow?
Yeah, I will have my friend drop me off at the library after court. I apologize for that.
That's all right.
I will have my friend drop me off at the library after they're done with court, and hopefully we'll have a pretty good amount of time to be able to get stuff written down and everything.
Do you know about what time?
See, her court hearing, I believe, is at 1. So probably about 2:30-ish.
That sounds good. That is a long way between now and then, but at the same time, if you are able to send those messages out to, I don't know who all to send it out to other than Will Chappell at the Headlight Herald, but I can message you his number while you're typing it up, and that way you'll have it. Hopefully it doesn't interrupt you too badly.
No, it won't interrupt me at all.
All right. Well, I'll take some screenshots of his business card too then.
Okay.
Some of the other places that we were trying to look up that we're supposed to turn it into, none of us have been able to find. Also, something really does need to be said about the fact that none of their internet crap works. Literally, I've gotten on it with like 4 or 5 different people in this town to try that. And Miss Candy tried doing it online by herself, and so did a few other people. The other thing is that people that are pissed off at me, they're pissed off at me for telling the truth online. And the reality is that it took them a really long time to come forward, and I'm being abused the whole time. Andrew Wolnez started this in September last year with his BS, and that all started over them racist youngins who still haven't knocked their stuff off. They were even screaming the N-word at me today. And that all started with Christian Alexander threatening to kill him one day. And I've got all of that recorded, how it started. Were you able to watch the video with them having their little mini KKK rally?
Did you send that to me?
I'm pretty sure I did. I might not have. I certainly sent it to Claire. I was pretty sure I sent it to you too. It's the Misty Potter video.
Oh, okay. I don't think I watched that one. I think I accidentally skipped over it. I will watch it tonight.
All right. One of the things in it, Misty Potter was one of the friends that I had before Natalie Bollinger was killed, and most of the video is me talking about that situation. But those youngins started their racist BS like within probably, I don't know, if you look in the comment section, just like with a lot of the other ones, in the comment section of the video, you can click on the numbers and it'll actually literally take you to that spot in the video so you can hear it.
Okay, perfect.
All right. Also, some of them, like that one right there, if you listen for about 5 minutes, like they basically call me every name in the book. Also with Chris Stafford, with him repeatedly calling me gay boy and homo, and the evidence that I sent you from Amanda about him threatening me before and telling her that he was going to hurt me. And, you know, the thing is, it's not crazy talk. It's people keep hurting me over Natalie Bollinger. That's not crazy talk to say that, especially when he's one of the people hurting me over Natalie Bollinger. He didn't know Natalie. I did.
Right.
So, if you could write down also the stuff with Andrew Wolnez breaking the protection order, because I want to be able to turn him in for the assaults, and I also obviously need to turn him in for breaking the protection order repeatedly. If he doesn't talk to me, I don't say nothing, but he's been literally riding by over and over again, throwing stuff at my vehicle, yelling at me. In those videos from last night, like in the first 3 of them, is he or is he not riding by and yelling at us?
Oh, yeah.
Now, in the last video, doesn't he say that he's been at home and he hasn't been messing with me?
Yes.
And is he or is he not threatening to stab somebody?
Yes.
Pretty simple stuff. You can see that. Obviously, if you're able to see it, then the cops should be able to see it. If they're not able to see it, it's because they're not wanting to look, obviously. The same thing with the public pretender and the same thing with the quote-unquote investigator. Meanwhile, the investigator was telling me basically over and over and over again that he doesn't work for free. That's what he was wanting to get at the whole time.
Right.
So Will Chapla keeps pawning me off on the investigator who doesn't work for free. Today he messaged me that he's going to take care of the thing with the investigator. But again, like without a friend or family member to help turn it in, I'm screwed. That's why I'm
Right.
hoping that you'll be able to hopefully turn that stuff in. But also now I'm out of money. I'm completely out of money. 2 weeks ago, I could have done a lot of different things. Now I can't hardly do any of them.
I'm not worried about money for me purposes.
Well, I'm talking about for getting there. A lot of the stuff with the courts costs money. The stuff with my phones costs
Right.
money. When
Yeah.
you don't show up and I'm having to do a lot of stuff online and try to send that stuff out, I'll send it out to 5 or 6 different people, not just you. And the reason for that is because I'm hoping that somebody will come through. Hopefully, everybody won't have somebody who dies this week. Hopefully, everybody won't be chalked up with family stuff. Hopefully, everybody doesn't catch the super flu this week. Hopefully, everybody does. You get where I'm going with that?
Yes.
It ends up being weeks and weeks and weeks with everybody. Also, with the living situations that I'm in, I'm doing the best that I can given the situation, and a lot of the people who are being patient with me are trying their best to be patient with me because they're trying to understand my disabilities. With you, you understand my disabilities more than most as far as the physical ones. When a person's not able to do it and you have to pick up their slack, and you were talking about having to pick up that slack before. So, I mean, yeah, it's definitely something that's unnerving. And then when you're in that situation yourself, you feel like crap enough already without people throwing it in your face that they can't be there 24/7. There are people who literally didn't lift a finger in 2 years that wanted to throw in my face, oh, well, Sean, I can't just hold your hand and wipe your ass 24/7. You know, people
Yeah.
who hadn't been there pulling stuff like that. Sorry, I was just lighting a cigarette.
No, you're okay.
Anyway, the situation with Claire, uh, a lot of these people are witnesses to the same situation. Claire has gotten to see a lot of evidence that you haven't gotten to see just because she's a little bit more familiar with it. She did
Right.
look up Natalie Bollinger and realize what a severe clusterfuck it is, and that literally all of this is Natalie Bollinger. And that's why I was hoping that you and her would converse with one another.
Okay.
She might also be overwhelmed. She's autistic as well. She also has an IQ of 141, so she is highly intelligent. And even though you might be able to pull the wool over her eyes when she's overwhelmed, the fact is, once she catches on, you'll never hear the end of it. So be honest with her, be forthright with her. Don't sugarcoat or beat around the bush.
Yep.
Also, she is well practiced in what's called masking, which is where she tries to be a normal girl. And she will probably try that with you, and that's her way of trying to normalize with you and try to make a connection.
That's what most autistic people do, though. That's a normal thing, and I don't see somebody for their disability. I see them for who they are.
Well, the thing is that I'm forced to mask as well. I'm very good at it, and a lot of my friends, when I was in a state of crisis, that's when they met me. When I was basically superhero to everybody in Boulder that I could possibly help when they needed it. And after I hurt my back, they all basically just forgot I existed. I only existed for their idea of helping me was to tell me a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush, or I just need to love myself, or I just need to let it go, or I just need to move on. Meanwhile, with a bunch of people spreading rumors that I was some stalker who couldn't take no for an answer, people are automatically jumping to that conclusion. And then people are like, oh, Sean, you just need to let it go. Natalie died years ago. I'm like, you know what? That doesn't matter that she died years ago. Chris Stafford was throwing shit at me just 2 weeks ago. He was screaming stuff at me just 2 days ago.
Exactly.
He's also thrown stuff through my window while I was in my vehicle, including a rotten ass apple. And it wasn't just him, it was him and that blonde haired lady who has the red Honda that has the white letters that spell out the word Honda on the back of it. And there's also those racist youngins, and there's the fact that all of these people are citing Natalie Bollinger as their excuse to harm me. And the police, of course, multiple people have come up and told me that the police told them that I was wanted for murder in Colorado. That includes Chris Stafford, by the way.
Right.
So when they're saying, oh, you're just crazy about some dead woman, that's not what it is. I'm pissed off because I'm still being abused after all these years. And I have to beg people to look at evidence. I have to beg them to show up. I have to beg groups of people to say that they'll help in the hope that one of them will actually keep their word to show up.
Right.
And the biggest issue is the police are going to sell whatever narrative they want. And that's why I try to get people to look at the evidence. That's where you get to see the violations. It means that you can help me to end the violations, as well as some of the other crimes that I've gotten to send you evidence of.
Right.
A lot of the people that said that they would help me, their excuse for never turning in any of the evidence that I sent them was that the police won't take any evidence from the internet, that stuff from Facebook doesn't count and stuff from YouTube doesn't count. I can send you the stuff from my court dates that you can read through. The stuff that they used against me was from Facebook and YouTube. And a lot of it isn't even stuff that came from me. It came from people that have a false account.
Oh, goodness.
Yep, and that's another thing I can prove. I have over 24 fake accounts that people tried to make in Marie Long's name, and she's she's my niece's grandma. They also made multiple Alicia Bollinger accounts to harass me with. That's Natalie's twin sister. Some people made Natalie Bollinger accounts or Brian Schwartz accounts. And the thing with Andrew Wolnez and Chris Stafford is that they've shown that they're working together. That John Stevens has been violent with me, and I sent you proof of that. And Andrew Wolnez has been violent with me, and I sent you proof of that. And that's the stuff that I need you, if you're able to put into links in an email so that people can actually copy and paste and look at the links. Also, the stuff that you sent me already through emails, if I'm able to use my computer to send them, then I'll be able to forward those to people as well. If you could forward them as well, like as soon as possible, that would be a big help. And so I'm going to let you go. I've already talked at you for almost 30 minutes.
Okay.
Also, you've listened a lot better this time, and thank you for understanding the not making suggestions thing. I'm pretty sure when I said that you were thinking about a situation where you've been in the same situation. So having you make that immediate connection is something that's helpful.
Absolutely. I'm here to listen always.
Well, that's good. I want to fill you in on some of the specifics from the hospital stuff at some point. But again, the financial issues that I'm experiencing are things that the courts are supposed to recognize.
Okay.
All right. Do you know how long it'll take you before you're able to send the first one?
Probably like an hour.
That's badass. That'll work. I'll send you the email addresses of people to forward it to. If you forward it as basically one email with 5 or 6 people that it's being sent to at the same time, instead of sending 1 or 2 individually, then they get to see that it's being sent out to multiple places and that they can't just pretend that they didn't see it.
Okay.
All right. I'll also send you the evidence that multiple places are claiming that they can't see the videos that you're able to see.
Okay.
All right. Be safe, and I'll go over the assessment stuff with what they're supposed to do and didn't in every single scenario, because they're supposed to look at my living conditions Also, if I'm in an unsafe situation, they're supposed to allow me to go to some place that is safe. And if I'm not able to do that, they're supposed to assist me with that. Because I'm disabled, they were supposed to do all that from the start.
Right.
All right. Well, I guess I'll start sending you a bunch of stuff in about 10 or 15 minutes, and hopefully it doesn't disturb you typing up an email.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. Be safe.
Yeah, of course. You too.
Bye.
Bye.
Hope for the best, prepare for the worst. See, that's the thing about eating up so many of these days. All this other stuff that I'm telling her about, like when she has issues and she lets me know, I let her tell me about it immediately, and I plan accordingly. For me, I don't usually get to the point where someone's listening to my issues. When I spend a day waiting on Brin or Chelsea or Aaron or Kara or Cara or even Stephen McMillian, when I spend that whole day waiting on this person who's going to come forward and going to help me, and at the end of the day, they may tell me 5 or 6 reasons that they didn't come through, and the whole time I'm in hurry up and wait mode. When they show up half an hour late to an hour late, a lot of times I've already had to move on to another place. With Bryn, she's already understanding that my life is always at risk, and that these people are harming me for things that never happened. She's also well aware that they're true. I believe in doing the right thing because it's the right thing to do. I just don't always know what the right thing to do is. I'll be right back. I do feel bad for the guy because I've told him 3 or 4 times that this lady's gonna come help me. Anyway, you know how we end these videos? Good to be ready with you. Thank you for coming to visit. Stay out of trouble or don't get caught. Remember, you are your brother's keeper and your sister's keeper too, and no victim left behind. Also, if you want to see the videos that her and I are referring to, they're in the videos section, not the live section for most of them. Most of the recent ones. The reason for that is because there's a lady who doesn't like me very much that accidentally dropped my phone and it doesn't work anymore, so I have to pay to get it fixed. I suppose I should at least type in my email address. It's doggedroman@gmail.com. And I can forward you some evidence from Natalie Bollinger herself. Also, I have Cash App now, $cash.app/$DOGGEDROMAN. Thank goodness to Miss Claire. She was able to send me enough money to get some minutes on my phone. so that I could use it for the mobile hotspot, so I could actually post publicly so that people could see that these situations are in fact and indeed very real. It's not aliens and unicorns and the Illuminati doing this stuff. It's very real people with very real motivations. Sometimes it's greed, sometimes it's envy, sometimes it's acceptance.